It was from my half of the first inning, and I scored 3 runs. I got a 2-run home run from Mike Napoli, and got I think another home run, but I forgot who hit it. And I'm versus against the Seattle Mariners, who don't have that great of a lineup, but you never know. Let's see how it works out. And I'm going to be doing, about every 3 innings and see, dividing up into a third of a game, part one, part two, part three. All right, so let's get it going. Okay, so I have Luis Severino. He's pitching. See how good he does. He gets a foul ball right there. He's going to try to go for a two-seamer right here. He misses. I mean, I hate when that happens because you don't want to start having a pitcher throw too many pitches right now. Let's see what happens. And he goes ahead 1-2. The Angels team I drafted is really good. Well, it's kind of my style of team. My style of team is getting some young guys and then some mashers. Like Mike Napoli, he's not a young guy, but he has really good power numbers against lefties and decent ones against righties in this version of the roster that I got. So, that's really what I like because, I guess I'm a three true outcomes kind of guy sometimes, where it's like he either walks, strikes out, or hits a home run. And I also believe, I guess Earl Weaver's, pitching, defense, and 3-run home runs, because those are two of my, two of my principles. Like where you gotta have good pitching, or at least young pitchers that have good upside, versus getting, just an old pitcher that can't pitch. I mean, that's obvious. You don't want that, but if you have a young pitcher that's got an A potential, you want that over like a C potential. I just got homered off of. So yeah, I'm doing so great with all my pitching expertise. I get home runs hit off me like that by Ian Kinsler. Freak. Yeah, that was a bad mistake. That was kind of a fastball right down the middle of the plate. I have a 3-1 lead. I mean, when, we might get into that frustrating range, and that might prove how badly I suck. So, let's see what happens here against Carlos Correa. He's a great player. I think he's got a huge, bright upside in real life because, a lot of people have been saying good things about him. Let's see what happens. Alright. He goes, takes that pitch. No, he hits that pitch, but he doesn't really do anything with it. Gets it right to Napoli. Boom, 2 outs. The one thing I always think about with the show is that they always seem to get the small details right. And, that's huge when you're talking about baseball. They seem to have a real good grasp on the stadiums and all that, and, how things work. Like, if you get a pitch low in the zone, you're bound to hit it into the ground. It's not like arcade baseball. And to be clear, I do love those arcade, style sports games where it's like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz, man. Those were great back in the day. Those things are, they're great because it's kind of why I don't always play on a hard difficulty, because sometimes you just want to have fun and not get like freaked out about stuff. Like you don't want to like have it be all details all the time. You want to have some fun. To use NBA Jam, you want to have some boom shakalakas and some he's on fire, kind of moments. I mean, it's also different with different games. Like if you're playing like Grand Theft Auto, it's a little bit different. I don't think anybody holds up a GTA store and go, hey, I feel great. I mean, they do, but not for the same reasons, I would think, right? They do it because, they can't do it in real life, whereas with baseball and football and basketball, it's all about being that star. You want to be, Aaron Judge. I'm a Red Sox fan, but I gotta say Aaron Judge is pretty damn good. You want to be that guy when you're playing MLB The Show versus like Grand Theft Auto, where it's just more like, different. But anyways, I got Jose Altuve coming up. I just swung at the first pitch, like I think it was first pitch, but like I swung at it like an idiot. Let's see what happens here. Take a pitch I probably should have swung at, because Like in that situation, that pitch was actually pretty good. Another take, I should have swung at. Jeez. That's too bad, huh? Yeah. Swing, and he hits one through the hole. Yeah, I like Altuve, because on top of liking mashers on offense, or batting, or whatever, I like to have at least a couple of speedy guys, like Altuve, or Lindor, so you know, you have a little bit of a balance, because you do need guys that are fast, and you don't always want, you know, the Mike Napoli coming up, or the, you know, Victor Martinez. Even though those guys are great, you want to have a little bit of dimension. It's like on offense, as position players, I like power, but speed is a close second, you know, and then fielding is kind of more of a distant third for a position player for me. Because you want to have them be able to field at certain positions. Like if you're a first baseman, that's different than being a shortstop or a third baseman or a left fielder or a center fielder.
Too late.
So, you know, it's all good in that way, but, you know, jeez. Yeah, that was a bad judgment by the right fielder there. I think it's Will Venable. He's a good player, but he's not great, and I just, you know, opened up the game here. I guess this is going to be one of those arcade games where where I score a lot of runs, and I probably shouldn't feel too good about myself, but I do. You know, it's just it kind of goes into that whole, you know, I play games to feel good, so I don't play like, you know, on the strictest difficulty all the time. I do that sometimes. Like, it also depends on the sport. I mean, I played a lot more baseball and football than I did basketball, so I give myself a little bit of leeway with that. But honestly, it's all about getting better. Like, I've adjusted the basketball difficulty settings a few times, and then when I play NBA 2K, you know, to just give it a little bit of like fairness, I guess, or whatever. Because I mean, if you asked me how to do a pick and roll in NBA 2K, I wouldn't really be able to tell you. You ask me what an intentional walk is, or, you know, what a pitch out is, or what a hit and run is, or the hidden ball trick, I could tell you. But just not with basketball. I'm not that deep into it. I just hammered Jose Quintana, who just got traded, by the way, in real life from the White Sox to the Cubs. So, you know, I'm giving him a good goodbye present, I guess. Yeah, I probably should up the difficulty. I don't know where it's at right now. See what happens, because, you know, the video games are, that's one thing with video games, some of them are just cheats, like that right there. I mean, the first pitch swinging, well, I think it was Reed Johnson. He doesn't look like Mike Napoli or something, so, you know, Reed Johnson isn't going to hit a lot of home runs. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny. Like, in real life, these guys don't always go yard, like back-to-back jacks all the time. They more likely strike out and are, you know, get nothing.
He's safe.
So, you know, that's kind of where video games lie. Like, if I showed you in another video, you know, it'd be like seeing Mike Napoli as a catcher again. You know, like, you know, in real life, he's not going to play catcher. He's not even going to play anything other than first base or DH. So that's kind of where video games are a little bit more fun, at least for me, than real life baseball or football. Is because you can screw around with them a little bit and change things. If you don't like it one way, you can change it to another. But, you know, it's just like, just great about video games. One of the best things about them is that there's always a change that you could do that you can have more fun, you can be more serious, you can be more challenging, and there really isn't that much of a wrong way to play it. You know, it's like, you know, I understand that you can be mocked on playing it on easy, which I actually understand that, but I'm also like, if you're just starting out and you haven't done anything wrong, there's no shame in that. I mean, it's just, you gotta start somewhere. And right now, I'm considering upping my difficulty because I shouldn't be up not 10 to 1, But it's like, it's like one of those things. Like one of the other things I think is to get more people to talk to when you're doing YouTube videos. I can see some people out there that are just going, he looks like he's talking to somebody, but he really isn't. And to those assholes, I say, you know what? I'm playing a year-old game. First time really on YouTube with this kind of video. Y'all shut the hell up. But other than that, I mean, it's just real weird doing this.
No, that's low.
It's, that's one thing that's important in life is to not listen to what other people tell you. Because they will say some mean shit, and then, you look at them. Did they do that? Did they know what they're talking about? And if they do, that's one thing. But if they don't, it's like, shut up, You didn't, have the same things that I did, or don't, or whatever. So, if you don't know me, just keep it to yourself, But, that's something I guess I gotta learn on my YouTube adventure. It's just like, yeah. It's also kind of weird, with things, specifically about, baseball. I mean, baseball itself has to learn how to change just like everybody else does. And sometimes you gotta ignore the people that keep telling you gotta make changes. Like, one of the things that hurts baseball and helps it, one of the things that really hurts it, is that it doesn't change, and it's been basically the same game with minor changes, maybe since the 70s, when they put in the DH or whatever. But when you sit down and watch a baseball game, it's like the same type of game you'd expect to see years ago. Maybe except with the DH or whatever you want to add to that. And that helps it because it makes it like give you that nostalgic feeling. It hurts it because honestly, if you're not playing the game, it can get boring. Like, if you asked me to sit down and watch the Red Sox, my favorite team, I wouldn't be able to really watch the whole game unless I was at the stadium, which is different, or play it online, play with the video games, which is kind of the curse. Like, it doesn't change enough, or it doesn't do enough. It just sits there the same, and you can't, like, I don't know. I mean, what they're suggesting with baseball is great. It's good to think about what you can do to change the game for the better, but you're also going to lose that nostalgic feeling, and that's kind of one of the things that attracts me to baseball, that it's like the classic American game, and that's kind of its curse. It's just classic, like, and that's why a lot of people don't like playing it. It's like, not like football. It doesn't have that violence and the excitement, or basketball, that style and swagger. Baseball just doesn't have the kind of star that, LeBron James is, or Tom Brady is, or, pick them. I mean, right now baseball is kind of in a dead zone where, yeah, the best player is Mike Trout, without a doubt. But you ask somebody that doesn't know anything about baseball, are they going to give you that same answer? I don't know. I mean, they might say Bryce Harper, which is legitimately an answer, but, it's like, they might not even say that. Like, I know people where I hang out with, they don't know who Bryce Harper is, probably. And I mean that, that's kind of a negative. When your two best players, probably the best players in the modern era, can't get recognized, you got some problems. And I would make the difference between getting recognized by somebody that likes to watch sports and likes to play sports and likes to do things like that, than the lay person. If you walked up to somebody on the street and said, who's LeBron James, they would be able to tell you. You walked up to somebody and tell them who's Mike Trout, they might not be able to give you that answer that's really good. It's just tough with baseball to get that acknowledgement in the pop culture. It's also like it's just like baseball is kind of fighting right now to stay relevant. I think in that way, because the key thing is with businesses and things like that is you got to get new people to come in without losing your old fans, and the ones that stay with you are always going to come back to you no matter what. Whereas new fans, you got to cultivate them and you got to get them into the game. I mean, football definitely has its own problems. I played football. I can preach to that being its problems being real. But baseball, like it's not perfect either. Oh geez, the Mariners are gonna get killed. How's Mike Napoli? Oh, he's not gonna go for a triple. That's kind of the way it is. Jeez, I can't believe that guy missed that catch. That's really bad for them. They're getting blown out here. I might just sim to the end of the game because there's no chance of them coming back, and that's not good for lots of reasons. It's just not good. All right, let's go. Come on, somebody, please, motherfucker, get it out. That's another thing. I guess I'm not a real baseball fan like that. I mean, you know, that's I guess pace of play is a problem with baseball because you can't have too many innings like the ones I'm having on right now, which are unrealistic. I'm not gonna say that they are, but you know, I'm playing a video game. I should have more excitement for this than I do. But maybe again, I probably got the difficulty way under than it should be. But I don't know. Alright. We're in the third inning. I might have to call this one early because it's getting to the point in the mercy, Yeah, it's gonna get there. That's another thing I should have said in my intro video is I do mercy because I mean if the game's not close, there's no reason to play 9 innings or 4 quarters or 48 minutes when the game isn't close to the point where they're not going to come back. You know what I mean? So I might get rid of that now to get rid of some of my problems. All right. Oh, here we go. All right, peace. I'm going to sim out of this game, and it's probably going to boot you from seeing this video. So I'm going to just go do some peace here. Okay.